All right, so the next step we're on is developing the outline, which is over here on the right-hand side. So if you go over there, you should see a couple things in there. You can change the title of these. Click on it and then edit, just right-click to edit. And again, this is my introduction. There we go. Introduction goes right there. And let's say that I want to put a grab and a thesis. You guys remember grab and thesis? So we're going to make a grab, we're going to make a thesis. So the quick way is you just add something, and you can either add a sibling or a child. A child would be like a bump forward, a bump to the right on the topic list. A sibling will be like add another topic. So that would be a topic 7. But I want to add a subtopic, which is a child. So let's do, sorry, I need to select intro, grab it, select child, and then it'll give me a subtopic C here. And you can move these around. You can grab it, move it up to the top, that sort of thing. So you can also drop them inside like another subtopic and create another subtopic that way. So if I wanted to create a subtopic of that, I could do that, or I could just add it and then just drag it and drop it where I want it to go, and it'll start creating siblings and children just that way. So I've already gone through and populated my outline with the things that I want your outline to have. I decided to make one paragraph as my introduction. I have another paragraph that's my first body paragraph, which is all about my character's parents and grandparents. And then I have another paragraph, which is about like Cheyenne culture and Cheyenne life. And then I've created another body paragraph, which is kind of like him as a war leader fighting the Texas Rangers. What sort of weapons do they use? And then Wesley Merritt was who they were fighting when they were fighting the U.S. Army. So I have those in there. Another subtopic I have is his later life, so what he did when he was older. And then at the very end, I have a conclusion. Now, I decided to go with a 6-paragraph essay just because it seemed to be appropriate. I could have gone with a 3-paragraph, could have gone with a 2-paragraph, but really a 6-paragraph seemed to be the most appropriate. So I have an introduction, parents and grandparents, Cheyenne culture, war leader, later life, and then my conclusion. So if you look at my introduction, I went ahead and I actually used one of my note cards for my grab. So I went in and I grabbed this note card, which is all about kind of like a description of him from someone who was around at the time. So this is a primary source. And it was just kind of a description of him in the prime of his life. And I went and dragged that from over here and just dropped it onto grab, and then it's just in there forever unless I take it out. My thesis statement, I just copied and pasted that from the dashboard of my project. Just went in and typed that out. So now I have my thesis statement right there. And that all goes in my introduction. Again, grab first. Thesis is always the last part of your introduction. So I went ahead and put that in there. For my body paragraphs, same kind of thing. I just went, okay, so this is my pile on parents and grandparents, dragged it over, dropped it on parents and grandparents, and all of a sudden I got my first body paragraph. All done. And then let's say I want to do the father first and mother next. I can just, move these things around. So father comes before mother now. Or I can move mother and father to the very beginning. So now it's mother, father, and then the Parkers. And the Parkers were his grandparents. So that kind of covers that. And then same thing with my other body paragraphs. I just went and dropped different note cards in here, and I moved them around. I'm going kind of with a chronological order, like on most of this stuff. Last thing is you're going to have a concluding paragraph. You'll have a restatement of your thesis. So what was your thesis? Same idea, different words. Usually I just change the order around a little bit. We can talk more about that when you're ready to write your conclusion. And then this so what? I haven't really gotten around to writing this yet, but I'm going to try and write kind of a closing summation about what the point of learning this was. Like, how was this an interesting thing or an important thing for everybody to know? Or how did this add value to my knowledge of American history? So something like that. that'll go in your little so what at the very end. But again, your conclusion is the opposite of your introduction because it starts with your thesis and your introduction ends with the thesis. It starts with your grab and then your conclusion ends with your kind of so what.